And you also, one of the ways that you can cut back and kind of wean yourself off of foods that you don't want to eat, or say sugar, right, is find those ways that you can replace something else with that. For example, one of the areas that I find is significant, it makes a significant difference, is when we have these foods that we think go with a particular event. So say, for instance, you're going to have a meeting. Say, okay, we're going to have a meeting, and someone will say, I'll bring the donuts. And really, if you're having a meeting, you're talking, you don't really need the donuts. Also, if you're doing something to where you're engaging, you're active, you're interacting with your hands or speaking, then just eliminate the food from there, because the actual event, that is the thing that you're there for. And so if you find these little areas that you have a tendency to just by tradition add in these things, they add up. And many times we don't realize that they are adding up, but they are. And so instead of having meetings at the coffee shop with a sugar drink and dessert, I mean, especially if it's in the evening, instead of doing that, then just have the meeting. You can go for a walk, you can go sit on a bench, or you can sit outside of the coffee shop. You don't have to have a dessert, but if you're used to doing it and you're tempted, then it might not be a good idea for you. You want to keep your stress levels low, and when you're tempted to have something, or when something is enticing for you and you have it in front of you, that just makes it more difficult to be able to stay healthy, not just because it's tempting you, but because it's causing a stress response in your body. And so one of the things that you can do is to start to look at these little areas where you have food where it's not necessary. If you're having a study session, you don't need to have food at a study session. If you're meeting for for business purposes, you don't need food there. Matter of fact, you can interact better without the food. And so this helps, because when we think about the ways that we actually begin or initiated these habits, it's because it was presented as an automatic. Okay, you have a barbecue, you have to have potato salad or macaroni salad, right? No, you actually don't. These concepts and ideas that we have, we've kind of trapped ourselves in and have this obligation or this position. These concepts, these traditions that are not beneficial, these are the areas that can make a big difference. And just start to pay attention to how you're adding in all these different things. Some people, they have certain candies or gums that are full of sugar, and that perpetuates more sugar because it awakens that craving. All of these little things, you becoming aware of them and then starting to replace them with other activities, is what not only gives you the benefit of not having it, but it also starts to retrain your body and your mind. And so it starts to eliminate that pull it has on you physically, but then it also starts to eliminate that pull, because physically you're having a reaction, addictive response, how it affects the brain, your physical brain. But when we think about your mind and the psychological connection, which is many times the strongest pull, this idea that you have to have the food because this person is coming over, we having this event, it's just so autopilot that we don't realize that we're putting all of these unnecessary things in our body. So start to look at those different areas that you have these items that aren't. A lot of times they're these sugars, these sweets, these unhealthy things. And because you're getting together with someone and it's celebratory, or we have a tendency to connect these unhealthy foods with it. So we're connecting something good, connection with human beings, a discussion, a meeting that has to take place to progress forward, and we're connecting it to something that's unhealthy. That's sending mixed messages to our mind and our body. So we can start to allow our physical brain to heal, and our mental processes, the psychological connection that we have, emotional connection we have with food. And when you start to see that it's possible to do life in these areas without it, it just brings a sense of relief, and it helps you to get a better perspective. You can take a deep breath and say, my goodness, I don't actually have to have that. I don't actually have to have those results and then feel horrible afterwards. We can alleviate a lot of that by just looking at these little areas of our life that we add in things that are unnecessary. So what is that for you? Ask yourself this question. Start to journal. Pay attention. Journal for maybe a couple of weeks just so you can start to see it. And then you'll make such a significant difference, and you'll realize you'll start to detach from these things that are unhealthy, and your body will follow along with you, and you feeling great is going to be part of the motivator. Decrease pain in your joints. The recovery process is being more efficient in your body. and feeling good, having energy without having those extreme lows and that nagging feeling from sugar saying, come eat me. So what is it for you? Take a look at it, identify it, and then just start to make those little changes. Don't beat yourself up about it. It's just to see that you have these areas of opportunity. Take those small steps and actions. I'm telling you, it's going to make a big difference. So if you want some help in being able to set this up, get in a one-on-one, I'll put some information down below. Take a look at it. Talk to you soon.